My friend also made me watch the Monte Cristo musical things on the Pony and DMVs.
Monte Cristo. That is a good sandwich.
I have heard, but do not know from experience. I've been watching a lot of Top Gear memes and shorts and cuts, so I like Jeremy Clarkson, so the speed.
Sorry, I was looking at my Twitch Prime loot. Fallout 76 Prime Holiday Bundle. It's like, no thank you.
You can't fool me. But I am now the master.
Hey, $10 off Twitch blankets and onesies.
I kind of had an epiphany. I'm like, Star Wars Mandalorian is running live right now. I'm kind of weird that we aren't covering that or something. But I guess that would mean we'd have to get some way of streaming it, of sharing it.
Right.
Yeah. Hello.
Not that it'd be impossible.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. Group of friends is too much man the business sucking movies, TV, older recent. Something I forgot to mention last week. The songs in the Muppet Christmas Carol I actually heard first via a YouTube parody.
Huh. Okay.
But now to the news desk. Something we forgot. Something we didn't cover. Something we didn't cover last week. Big Bird's apparently dead.
Yep.
What happened?
Oh, tell
Somebody
me.
died?
Oh, tell me you didn't grow up with Sesame Street.
Oh, never mind. But I still tell you, I didn't, so...
I have no idea.
I actually don't know what I watched. I think I watched Boobas. Remember that acid trip of a show?
I think I
Probably...
encountered it on occasion.
I know I had Cartoon Network growing up.
Yeah, I did Cartoon Network for Clone Wars and stuff when I was...
No, I mean back when they were showing like Looney Tunes and stuff.
I did that too. Can I have 4 hands, please? Disney XD. You guys watch Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
Disney smiley face.
Yeah.
That was one of my shows growing up.
Nope.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Haven't seen that either.
Bro. Zoe? I didn't watch Zoe, actually. iCarly. Why were there so many live shows?
I heard about that one.
You've not watched iCarly? That one's actually pretty good.
Nope.
It's actually pretty funny. It's kind of got the classic random humor, and it's done quite well, actually.
Like, the only Disney property I really remember watching was
That's not
Gargoyles.
Disney. That's Nickelodeon.
Oh, Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Wizards of Waverly Place is Nickelodeon. Is Disney, sorry. Drake and Josh.
Do you know Drake Bell's actually Bernie?
Did not know that. Well, now I gotta go watch Drake and Josh. To give him... I don't know. Drake and Josh kind of just fell off the earth. It's memes still. Drake? Or is it? It's like, Josh, where's the door? Where's the door hole? It's right there. I marked it out with the tape.
But yeah, Carol Spinney passed away last week.
Yep.
Was there a funeral yet? Or was it just announced? Too soon? Probably too soon. And he did Big Bird?
And also
Did he not?
Grouch.
Grouch, okay. Was he still doing it? No, I thought they replaced most of the cast by now.
Yeah, I think he retired last year.
Okay. Is that show still running live, new episodes?
If I recall, they got picked up by HBO.
HBO?
And their float's still in the
Yep.
parade.
Is Thomas the Tank Engine still running?
Someone's finally caught up.
Me boy, Thomas the Tank Engine. That's what I watched as a wee lad. As a wee lad.
I still have recordings from when they were second hand to Shining Time Station.
To be honest, I don't know why I'm even bothering back here. It's so far down in there. You can barely see it. I mean, you can't see it on the camera, but it's kind of like that. First, all the streams were really far behind, so sorry. Oh yeah, by the way, I never introduced what I was doing over here. We're back. We're back at it, boys. Day 2 of painting Luna. This is why I was scared of painting her, because I knew it was going to take frickin' several hours of painting. Just such a large figure. With such complexities and advanced colors. What should I do for the eyes, guys?
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm certainly glad you're not digital. You're not drawing digitally this time around, because if you actually attempted the subject something related to the subject matter for today, I've heard artists have some difficulty and a long time in painting steam locomotives.
You mean changing subjects? Or no? Let me turn it down. I need to turn down my music a bit. Ahead of
What?
What? Oh, right through it. Bag of Doritos.
Doritos.
Have any of you occasionally tuned into Wheel of Fortune this week?
Nope. I've been working all week.
Fair enough. Well, prior to recording the episodes for this week, Pat Sajak ran into a bit of an accident. Thankfully, he's recovering. And Vanna White was the main host. alongside the ever popular Disneyland characters.
Mm.
And speaking of Disney, the studio responsible for the Lion King remake shut down.
Why?
Who knows?
I blame it entirely on the backlash that usually comes about whenever a remake comes out.
To be fair, it didn't look that great. It's like, okay, live action with people. Okay, maybe. Quotation marks, live action, and quotation marks with CG animals. It's like, I'm sorry, you just cannot pull off the expressions with CG.
No, you died. Oh no.
Also, speaking of stuff disappearing, yeah, I remember a while back they had that whole pony life thing.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that vanished.
Thanos snap.
Well,
But
Quite
we
possibly
don't-
also from Backlash.
well,
well, we don't know.
From-
To be honest.
Or possibly something involving the person in who did the music for the commercial.
yeah, that's what I heard.
Ah, yes.
I think it was just the videos that were removed. I think there's, I think that's still coming. Just that something on the video itself that warranted all that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So here I'm at my aunt has one of the music stations playing, and I hear the music that from the commercial. It's like, huh, they're playing that song. I look, and it's actually called "Good as Hell."
Uh-huh. Yeah, I didn't think they'd cancel it. So
No,
I think-
they just took the commercial down.
yeah.
That's understandable. Well, now that we got the news test out of the way, we can now focus on the subject matter at hand. One of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, The Polar Express.
This was actually my first time seeing it tonight.
And I didn't see it tonight, but I have seen it many times. Not usually because of my own will. But that doesn't mean I don't like it.
It was okay. Though I have to admit, it does kind of drag a bit.
Polar Express is super well known for its CGI being heavily used in the comparisons or analogies of Uncanny Valley. It hits it a lot. Let's just say that.
But at least it's not as bad as Jim Carrey's Scrooge.
No, it is not. So the thing about this movie is it's kind of uncannily smooth everywhere, meaning the textures are very smooth. Lots of the characters are very soft looking in a way, which kind of makes it feel like a dream, which I don't know if that's intentional. But it also kind of brings you out of it a bit, at least from my last viewing. You don't feel like the stuff is really happening, and it kind of feels like you're kind of tripping the whole time. You're like, is this really happening, or am I supposed to think this is happening? You know what I mean? It's a weird experience. It's not bad graphics. That's the thing. So it was done well. The graphics. They're just eerily smooth, and a lot of the motion and emotions are very stiff in crucial moments, and well, in general. So if you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. The characters don't move it's weird. It's all motion capped. It's a bit hard to explain almost. It's a very good example of Uncanny Valley, because you want to. Your brain's like, yeah, those are people, but then it's like, no, they're not. It knows something's wrong. It can't put its finger on why it's wrong. CGI.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean it's bad. It's not a bad movie, really, I'd say. And the emotional bits at the end, I think, work. It kind of struck me, at least as a kid, when I think I first watched it. It was kind of a sad movie, almost. If we're gonna do a recap or something, I'll talk about it more later. But yeah, from my viewing, it was pretty good. Kind of creepy. The action sequences, which are weird to have action sequences in a Christmas story, but that's kind of fun, I guess. I feel like the pacing is really weird.
Yeah, at times it felt like the pacing was as glacial as the environment they were traveling in.
Yeah. Things just happen randomly with sometimes, or they characters bond randomly, even though there's a lot of time. It's weird in that it's a long movie, but a lot of times I didn't really feel much of a bond between any of the characters. Is that just me?
Kind of, yeah.
You know what I mean? The main character meets a lot of characters, but doesn't bond with any of them. Things just happen to them, and then they're like, "Yep, that happened." That's cool. And it's not even brought up really when they're like, "I'll never see them again." It's like you don't really care, and it doesn't really bring it up either. So it's like you're not even meant to care. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
aside from one of the they don't even have names.
Yeah, they're like kid 1, kid 2, glasses kid.
There were some interesting names in the names in the credits. On that note, there's Hero Boy, there's Hero Girl, there's Know It All, voiced by Eddie Deason, Mandark from Dexter's Lab.
And yes, you can already imagine the voice, and it is as annoying as you think. It's like, we're all such good friends. Like, you're barely there. You barely did anything. Why are they bonding with you?
There's conductor, there's the engineer, there's the fireman, there's a ghost of the king of the North Pole.
The train hobo.
Train hobo.
As I have dubbed him.
He's actually a... Batman is legitimately a hobo. The actual use of a hobo is somebody who jumps trains. Not homeless, but most likely homeless. But
wait, do you mean I accidentally did the right definition?
You actually grammatically got it right. A hobo is legitimately that. A train jumper and, that type of person. Which is pretty nuts.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. So technically when you call people hobos, you mean like riffraff or something more specific. Usually. Because hobos kind of don't exist anymore in the normal sense. People don't really jump trains because they're homeless. But yeah. Fact of the day.
We have sister, we have parents, we have elves, and of course we have Santa Claus.
And
Himself.
Billy.
Billy, yeah, he's like the only character.
Like him and Santa, they're the only named characters.
Him and Santa.
Which, going by normal rules, would make Billy the protagonist.
I think that's kind of crucially one of the problems with this. I almost feel like it's trying to be pretentious or something. You know, it's like, oh, we're a new-founded type movie. We're not for kids. It's a serious movie. But you're a kid movie. Come on. You know what I mean?
It was based off a children's book, and also some of the the characters were not named, and also most of the characters were not named. So I don't think that was one of the more serious matters.
Yeah, I'm thinking this. I feel like this time we're doing less a total recap and more general thoughts and this and that.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't actually have we have online, but we've been having some loading issues with the videos.
At least one of us.
Yeah. Well, you had loading issues, and mine kind of noped out at the end. So yeah, this will be a bit of a different thing than usual this week. But yeah, and there are a few parts where it's like, if anyone just stopped and thought, and I get what I'm saying is like, if anyone stopped and thought, there would never be any plots. But it's like the bit where it's like, she's taking the hot chocolate, the cocoa to the other kid in the other car. It's like, oh no, she doesn't have her ticket. It's like, she'll be right back. That whole thing was unnecessary.
Yeah, contrived.
I get the feeling that, it was based on a book. I have the feeling that was added just to pad out the movie.
To its credit, the Forrest Gump feather sequence homage. There is one point where it reenacts a moment from the book, or at least an illustration. Yeah, I'm pretty much one of the. Yeah, I'm pretty much know a lot about this inside and out.
Sorry about ragging on it.
But in terms of Robert Zemeckis mocaps, you think they started losing it in A Christmas Carol? Try Mars Needs Moms. Apparently, that's the one that gets the most backlash.
Yeah, I think the big thing about that one is no one watched it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one actually got a bit of a viewership.
Of course it did. A lot of us read the book.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Man, that black is thick. With 3 C's at least.
So obviously, since I'm the one with probably the most knowledge behind the scenes and things like that, I'm most likely the one willing to guide us through.
Lore master.
Train master.
Go ahead.
Train master. Train master is the more appropriate term you're looking for.
There was a train involved in this. In the making of this movie. I feel like I need white.
Let's try to stay on topic. Let's not get derailed.
I'll let that slide. You're skating on thin ice, my boy.
No, I believe it was the train that was doing that.
That was driving on thin ice.
We'll get to that. On Christmas Eve, many years ago, a boy lies quietly in his bed.
Before the internet was invented.
He does not rustle the sheets. He breathes slowly and silently. He's listening for a sound he's afraid he would ever hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. So yeah, to the film's credit, there are a lot of moments there are a lot of things they managed to stick from the book, even lifting some actual text word for word. And that opening line is definitely one of them. When he does hear them.
Oh, dude, that's like a... Look at that color match.
I will look at it when it gets to it in about 5 minutes.
I think that's... Oh!
Ooh. It is remarkably close.
Freaking just blindly doing it. I hope I don't need any more of this because I have no idea what the mix was. I just did it till I liked what it looked like.
So anyway, when he starts hearing noises,
Not a good sign.
he eventually pinpoints it downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out it's something that everyone has gone through at one point. Drink of water in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute mad lad.
Careful.
Look at this. Yeah, I'm...
Ooh, that's a good idea. More control.
Yikes, that's full.
It feels like there should be like a cap you can put on top of that.
Really?
Just to keep it from spilling out.
One like this?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think I've ever actually seen that before.
Yeah, it's probably pretty hard to see when I'm just bebopping around.
Then I don't think you typically have it that full.
No, definitely not.
But hey, you probably don't have to worry about running out.
I really hope not, because again, I don't know how I made this combo. I just started pouring colors till it liked how it looked. Okay, let's put the cap on her. Let's actually do that now. Okay. Gotta get it all over my hand. How did I manage that? Okay.
So after that discovery, he goes to some reference material. And it's here more in detail where we learn that our main character is pretty much a one of those reluctant types.
Uh-oh.
As in believing in magics of Christmas and Santa Claus and things like that.
Right.
That's not good. Oh, okay, it's getting...
Sometime later. And he's awakened to the sound of some sounds of some rumbling. Or as the book states, from outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal.
What do you guys think? This color? It looks too light blue. I don't know why it doesn't look correct. Maybe a tinge of purple. Oh. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Not everywhere. Jeez.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. Okay, yeah, let's add some purple.
Anyway. Boy slips in his slippers and robe and then heads out the door. He's eventually greeted by one of my personal favorite characters of the movie, the conductor, voiced by Tom Hanks.
Everyone's Tom Hanks in this movie, by the way. Literally, like, he plays almost everyone.
All physical, but there is it's obvious they got an actual young boy to actually voice our hero.
That's, I think, better. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's better. Let's do that.
Yep.
Could definitely run out now, though.
Actually, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to grab a drink.
I'll probably have a drink break eventually, too.
You're telling me.
Okay. Got a ginger ale.
Not bad.
You may continue.
And it turns out the conductor is also aware of our young man's feelings right now. No photo of Santa, no letter to Santa. If you insist about the milk.
What? What?
Man, that's loud. Anyway, no photo with the Mr. Santa this year. No letter to Santa. Make your sister put out the milk and cookies. Mm-hmm. Seems to me like this is crucial here. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
Good. stellar. Oh, stellar. Did you see what I did there?
Ooh.
By the way, did me turning down the volume help, by the way?
I think so, but
Well, after a brief moment of hesitation, he eventually climbs on board. Cute little magical moment of his snowman waving goodbye. And afterwards, we're introduced to the other colorful cast of kids, including as mentioned before, Eddie Deason.
yep.
Also, at some point, a lot of the children's tickets are punched. Here's a cute little running thing going on here. That does get a resolution.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't forget it. As he left for the train, he ripped one of his pockets.
Oh, yes.
But I'm sure that won't be important.
Magic pockets, anyways.
And as our first timer was quick to point out, I got a golden ticket!
Yes.
Oh, that's really nice in frame right there. I looked over.
Then it turns out we have another pickup. As mentioned before, one of the few named characters in the movie.
Yep.
We also get a brief moment of hesitation, but this time it takes an emergency brake to stop it. And as you can probably guess, the conductor is not quite pleased with the abrupt turn of events.
Nah, not really.
One of my favorite exchanges in the movie. But he quickly sizes up the situation, quickly forgiven. And then it's refreshment time via musical number.
Yep.
At least so when everyone remembers. Oh, we got it. Yeah, we got it.
I can see I'm not the only one who brought the soundtrack album.
Sure.
But yeah, something that I'd like to point out. There's a DVD version where somewhere you can find a side by side comparison to behind the scenes footage
Oh.
where they were in a studio in the mocap suits.
Hmm.
And contrary to popular belief, a lot of that was indeed motion captured. Sure, a lot of the stunts had to require certain typical stuntwear, including harnesses, wires, and whatnot. But yeah, they pulled it off.
So that wasn't animated. That was actually kept.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a blend. Ah, shoot! I probably shouldn't have touched it.
We then get to one of the moments mentioned earlier that
Because Billy was in another train car, he wasn't there for the Coco musical. So, girl character saved him up and decided to bring it over. But they aren't supposed to get up and walk around without an adult. But the conductor's there. It's like, oh, bringing him some Coco. Sure, why not? Let's go.
which of course leads to the train ticket thing we were talking about earlier. Like I said, admittedly, it's kind of padding, but it does lead to one of the shots looking like an illustration from the book, and it was also an homage to the feather from Forrest Gump.
Of course, anyone who hasn't seen that movie, like myself, wouldn't get that reference.
You haven't seen Forrest Gump?
Nope.
Oh. I see why you're sad. No. I kind of like the uneven effect you get when you airbrush. I mean, I can make it more even, but I kind of like how it makes it look more like fur. That's looking. Uh. My own horn already.
One more point during the sequence. I can definitely remember.
Yes.
If you were watching this with 3D glasses, and actually, this is one of the few movies they actually released to DVD in 3D. If I can just get my if you watch the movie in if you watch the movie in 3D, it'll be almost like it's almost looking like they want you to reach out for the ticket.
Yeah, there's definitely some points in the movie where it's clear that this is primarily for the 3D version.
I don't like that, but oh well. Because it means, you get weird shots that are not that... I guess it's pretty well handled in this.
I'd say this is one of the rare times where it's not distracting.
Yeah, but odds are when you get like first-person view roller coaster action, it was made for 3D.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Sorry about the weird angles.
I was just using that to describe like the fast forward whoosh. You know?
Yeah.
But again, we'll get to that.
But yeah, eventually the ticket is retrieved, albeit slightly after he has to confess the attempted note of gesture. He eventually makes his way to the roof, and we come across our hobo character. Or as we later find out, King of the North Pole.
The movie goes cryptic pretty often. So I watched this as a kid, and I was very lost a lot of times. This was definitely one of the... As a kid. In that I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where the hobo guy came. You didn't see him for a super time. Me as a wee lad again. Flashback to wee lad me. Well, yeah, you want to see this. One about Peyton time. Kind of a weird angle there.
I believe the word you're looking for is plot.
No plot, paint time.
Brief conversation later, also once again going into the kid's psyche. And it turns out they're approaching a tunnel with very little roof clearance.
Oh yeah, that's a good angle there. Sorry about that.
Or as it's officially called in the movie, Flat Top Tunnel. Semi.
I don't know how you surprised about stuff when you know what I mean? It's like you should know the route. I don't know what going on it if it's that dangerous. This is probably the most dangerous train track ever.
To be fair, they were mostly expecting everyone to be inside the coaches.
That doesn't excuse anything.
Oh yeah, sure. Expect children to follow instructions.
None of them having adults.
Anyway, they skid to the front in the nick of time. find the girl in the cab. And then comes a
Wait,
brief.
is it a they or we?
And there's also a brief bit where we meet the engineer and fireman, who are modeled on the late Michael who are modeled on the late Michael Jeter, who sadly passed away due to epileptic seizure during the film's production.
It's a weird way to go. And sad.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we get a classic Zemeckis moment. I wanted to do that my whole life.
Yeah.
Back to the Future 3, if you don't get it.
I've seen that movie.
I think this is darker than usual. No, she's pretty dark, actually. Never mind. Whoa, whoops.
Then comes another abrupt stop for Caramel Crossing!
Yeah. On a side note, it's seeing like the coat color and then the blue of the tape. It's like that actually matches quite. That actually works quite well.
Yeah, it'd actually kind of be what it will look like in the end.
Just leave the tape on. No one will notice. Also, speaking of Luna Day is December 21st.
Huh.
Just that I get that out there.
I guess I could send this in.
If you
Great.
hurry up.
Hey.
But
When is that? What day is that?
it's about a week off.
Saturday.
Saturday. Get my good side.
But yeah, the Caribou are easily taking care of the beard poles resulting in paint screwing apparently being the way to talk to them. It's a funny scene though.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
But eventually we lose speed control, and first of the roller coaster sequences via Glacier Gulch, steepest downhill grade in the world. And then just as quickly, Jiminy Christmas, the ice is frozen over the tracks. And if you're familiar with drifting,
Tokyo Drift music intensifies.
Alternatively, Initial D music intensifies.
but yeah, eventually they get the train under control. Try to escape the cracking ice. Admittedly, it's physically and realistically nil, but still makes for one heck of a great sequence.
Yeah, I thought you were the heckler here. Rain extraordinaire.
Huh?
Fun scene. Doesn't make any sense, but who cares?
Shortly after they get back on solid ground, the ticket is returned. Letters punched, and then we get another. Then we get another scene from the book with the train climbing a mountain, during which we get an interesting exchange from the. During which we get an interesting story from the conductor. Turns out he also knows about Ghost of the King. Shortly after that, nice little bit with the toy storage, where the toy storage with stuff that's going to get restored at some point.
Yeah, this is a bit with the Scrooge puppet.
And naturally, anyone who has seen that movie looks back on this and is like, should have known that was a sign of things to come. Eventually, we return to Billy. And we get one of my favorite songs in the movie.
It was okay.
Sorry. Sorry. You're like, one of my favorite songs of all time. It's alright.
Short bit where we take more dialect from the book. Lights appeared in the distance. They look like lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There is the North Pole. Then it's theme song time. I love that song.
It's all right.
If you've watched the um, um, CGR React video. They did
What?
do.
You kind of cut out there a bit.
If you've watched the digital CGI artists react, where they look at CGI art or movies, they did Polar Express, and the part where they're coming up the mountain, the train cars, actually like bend, like they're like they like when they're looping up the hill or the mountain, they're like the train cars shouldn't bend. They should just they should stay straight and just kind of their wheels, their tracks actually what turns. But the whole train car was bending in those scenes. Kind of weird if you look close at it. It's like a snake.
Right.
I don't know if that was them cutting corners or they just didn't know how to animate that or intentional.
There is inconsistencies, I will admit, but I don't think that was one of the major focuses.
It wasn't a huge deal. It was something you notice and you can't unsee usually. Like, oh. I think this is nearing completion. Paint-wise, layer.
Yeah.
So glad the paint lasted.
Yeah, it's getting pretty well painted.
I don't mind a bit of patchiness because it adds a bit of character. Not like white spots, but like I don't mind. Natural. Makes it look like a realistic painting or something. Kind of just hold it here and blast in there for a while. Oh, by the way, when I took my shower the other day after hair, I blew my nose and my snot was blue. Just wanted to say about that.
Crap, he's already been infected.
Luna's getting to me.
It's too late for him.
Are you coming to my guy's funeral?
No, you won't die. You're gonna become one of them.
It's like leprosy. Did we get exiled?
No, I don't know. I haven't actually looked it up.
Let's see what paint we have left. That's looking good.
Ooh.
Dang, that's a good looking pizza. For all you meme lords out there. Oh, we got gobs.
Huh. No, I mean, I'm just looking at something like further ahead and for this month. Like, okay, at the end of the month. Yeah, if it's on a Saturday, it'll conflict with Breath of the Wild. But if it's on Sunday, Phantom Hourglass, which isn't as bad. Side note: Zelda-thon is at the end of the month. Yeah, it's that time. It'll be that time of year again, and my 2 back-to-back weeks of charity gaming marathons.
Donate.
Occasionally. Let's see now. Monday they're premiering the documentary.
Which one?
And what?
What is it about?
Oh, it's about Zelda-thon.
Oh.
And on the 31st is the Jam Train. A good 2 hours of music by the Zelda-thon band. They take requests.
Cantina theme from from Star Wars.
I believe they have done that before.
Yes.
Actually, you can find it on YouTube. And then the following week, Sunday, so and not missing anything there. Next following Saturday. Yeah, I have nothing to worry about for games done quick.
Do you watch that one?
I don't pay quite as much attention to it because there isn't as many games that,
Oh.
Like, unlike with Zelda-thon, they're going to be playing a Zelda game, probably.
Never.
Anyway, let's get back to the movie.
It was a huge city, standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. They are gathering at the center of the city, the conductor told us. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? He will choose one of you.
Another, however, will be chosen as a sacrifice.
They run the giant blimp fuel.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
What?
Because our young man from 11344 Edbrooks seems to be disinterested. But while going to cheer them up, our hero accidentally uncouples the rear car.
I feel a lawsuit coming in.
I have no idea if they run lawsuits up there. But yeah, another roller coaster sequence. And now they have to traverse through the factories to get back to the center. Some point a cute little bit where the record players aren't working properly. And they eventually come across the main control center for factories. Also, there's a naughty detector.
We must find its technology and use it.
Look, it's almost Christmas, huh? Cut the kid a break. But put him on the check twice list for next year.
They're hand reviewed, in other words. The elves sound really weird in this.
Kind of works for their size when you realize how smaller they are, especially smaller than the kids.
Yeah.
One trippy pneumatic transport sequence later. And they eventually ended up coming across the last present needed to load the sack. Where of course we get the name of our kid.
Mm-hmm.
One slide sequence working similarly to like a Marvel Works or something. And it sounds like he's getting Legos.
Yeah, that really sounded like Legos.
And it's here where we get the Zeppelin.
Okay, that's probably good.
And as they soar through the city, guess who also decided to tag along with them?
Annoying kid.
Strikes again. Annoying fat kid. Fat kid. Like
Fact.
the T, not fat. But he is fat. No.
Like, go away, kid. No one likes you. But yeah, he was there because he wanted to make sure he got all the things he wanted for Christmas. Except there's only one thing for him, and it was underwear.
Not again. Ooh. Look at that. Ooh.
They managed to reach the center again, but they're not out of it yet. I may be just an old railroader and know nothing about lighter than aircraft, but from my layman's perspective, you need more altitude.
So yeah, some of the elves jump off. It lifts up a bit, but still not quite enough, and they knock over the Christmas tree star. And we'll jump down, catch it, put it back on the tree. Like, please, this was staged.
I'd say they're a bit more prepared in case of emergencies like this. Anyway, stowaways are eventually caught and manage to get out just in time for the festivities. First the reindeer come out, then it's the sleigh bells. Which at first you can't hear, which will be explained later. And finally, of course, Nick himself. Who is hard to see for our main hero, which will also be explained later. But for now, one of the bells accidentally snapped off, rolls in his direction.
He picks it up, shakes it, and hears nothing. But he wants to hear it. He believes.
I believe.
Ring, ring, ring,
I'm
ring,
a real
ring.
boy.
Santa comes forth, bells returned. Few interesting comments about our characters. Young man, patience, and a smidgen of humility might also serve you well. A lady of decision, full of confidence and spirit. Christmas spirit. I see you made some new friends. There is no greater gift than friendship. And speaking of gifts, let's have this fellow here.
Did you steal my black again? Okay, never mind. You were on thin ice there for a second.
Someone really needs to keep a close eye on their paints.
The paint elves might get me.
So yeah, he's able to sit beside Santa on the sleigh. So that's what he likes.
Just got to keep a tighter ship around here. Geez, Santa.
So he whispers to Santa what he wants. Oh my! I kid. He wants the bell.
He wants the bell.
Leading to another book moment with the bell being held up high and declaration. The first gift of Christmas!
Yeah, and he puts it in his pocket, and yeah. But time's running short. They have to get going. Get back on the train to head back. Before people start filing missing persons reports.
I do love that. I do love what's actually under. I do love what's actually. I do love what you can actually see from the conductor's pocket watch. Anyway, lengthy flying sequence later, which is actually mentioned in the book, circled once above us, then disappeared into the cold, dark, polar sky. Steven Tyler does one elf for a brief.
Yeah.
And we also get the full words on the tickets. Lean, whatever that's supposed to mean. Lean is spelled with 4 letters. I believe I punched 5. Are you saying I don't know how to... Oh, I'm sorry. It says learn. My mistake. Listen, learned. Can you count on us to get you home safe and sound? Absolutely. I believe this was pronounced lead, as in leader, leadership, lead the way. Follow you anywhere, ma'am. Something I need to know. Like I said, that gimmick gets a revolution.
But yeah, so
After that, another moment from the book. Everyone's back inside.
and everyone wants to see the bell. Yeah, remember when I mentioned that pocket that got ripped? Whoopsie.
That is a bit of an improvement. That is a bit of an improvement. They never mentioned how he got it in the book. Let's hurry outside to look for it, one of the children said, but the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. I do love the touch of how the train turns around and goes around a tree. Like a lot of us actually have trains around their trees.
In other words, the entrance fee is having your tree.
But yeah, everyone gets back home. get my favorite line from this movie. One thing about trains: it doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on.
I mean, that's not true, but it sounds cool. Because it kind of does matter where. Because that decides if you're getting on. You almost can't tell that the edges aren't painted black because the shadows are so. So right now, if I touch the paint, it scratches off like instantly. So, I'm just gonna have to not touch it.
So yeah, more moments from the book. More moments from the book. Boy gets home, waves goodbye. Christmas morning comes. I do love the little touch of the train set. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Better fix that hole in your pocket. Mr. C. But, well, it's our hero and sister Sarah that are the only ones that managed to hear it. Sadly, the parents are not so lucky. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as the years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
Okay, it does stay working for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And although we never got to hear it in full, second favorite song of the movie comes as the credits roll.
The movie was okay.
As one who has read the source material greatly as a kid, I can safely say this is a pretty faithful adaptation for the book.
Resident Polar Express expert. Proclaims. What am I a resident expert of?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, that's sort of true. Good point. Except to have to be reminded of it. All right. Look at that nice buckle right there. Woo! It'll come into focus for you guys later on in a sec. I'll do her butt and her crown is separate. I have to take off the. In hindsight, I should not have flushed the color yet because I might need to paint by hand on areas, and I will probably have to. So I got to paint her butt black, her flank black. There's not really any top downs because I don't know how far her cutie mark goes over her buttocks. Is it just like with her wings closed? What's it look like? Okay. You can still see most of it. Wonder if I blast it. It does come out. What's the schedule like looking for the movies coming up? If I may ask.
Next week we dive into something a bit more obscure. The 1988 version of Rudolph.
Of what?
The 1988 version of Rudolph.
I still couldn't hear you. What?
1998
version of Rudolph.
Yeah. Oh, it stars Trixie.
There are some MLP voice. Yes, there are some voice actors that would go on to do MLP.
Alicia Carr, Kathy Westlock. Ooh, and Eric Idle. Not Pony, but Monty Python.
Oh yeah. Bottom spot 1 complete. Complete. Sort of. I don't want to refine it back here. In other news, Grand Tour had another episode. It seems they will be doing specials solidly this season because it was selling the best, or that's what most people wanted. So they did the first one called, well, I think you guys should look at what it's called. I'm making our splotches slightly different. But
Yeah.
yeah, one because it breaks it up a bit. One because I don't want to bother. Spending all that time actually matching him up.
Right.
So what are you going to draw when you get your art stuff?
Eh. Thinking a character for a story I'm planning on writing.
Oh. What's the character?
Still working on it.
Oh. Like a cover?
But
Like a book cover?
no. That's like I kind of visualize the character and
Yeah. Look at that, baby. Put in a frame for you. Okay, that's all the black. Well, I could do our eyelashes. Or her mouth. Or her nose. What do you guys think? Should I do her nose?
hold on.
Nah, I won't do them in black.
Sure.
Alright. Do we take the masking off? I almost like the boots like they are. The shoes like they are. They're kind of like a gradient. But that is not proper. It's scary. Let's take the masking off. Let's just do it. We gotta be very careful.
Yeah, I'm thinking of using like a a thing on like either like with a program or something to like get a model to pose.
Ah. Yeah, I got you. That's gonna be kind of hard to do on a Nook. Thinking.
Well, the art program you can actually import an image.
Oh, okay. So just pose it somewhere else.
Yeah.
see there's a bit of white in between there. I'm going to have to go back with the paintbrush probably and just try to color match, which is much easier to do with the enamels. Gotta be careful holding it by its tail. It's weak and it's... What? I stabbed myself. Oh my, though. This is fucking stellar. I know I already used that one, but I like... Ooh, baby. Holy smokes. That's a Luna. That is a Luna if I've ever seen one. And I have at least, if not more. Run out of place to hold. I guess I can hold it by the tips of her feet. That's... It's scary.
Yeah, apparently there's a program called Magic Poser.
What's that?
What?
What's it do?
It's the... You have a model that you can pose.
Any model, or is it like a selected?
Well, you have a selection of different models. Like, hold on. Let me get the page back up. Anime girl, anime boy, woman, man. And there's different scales. And
Oh, okay, yeah.
girl.
Just girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that will actually let me save an image.
Dang, that's pretty much as good as I probably could have hoped. Holy smokes. All right. I think we'll leave it there for today. Let stuff dry off. And then I think if we do one more stream, we'll finish this bad boy up. Will that be after Christmas? No. Yeah. Will it?
Yeah, next week is either the 21st or 22nd, and then 28th, 29th.
Oh. Here's our blue ball of the week. I've had much bigger. I mean, I did a car once. Where's the calendar on this thing? There we go. All right. Yeah, so yeah, we got one more week before Christmas. So let's hope we can finish it that week. I'll have to do the eyes, which will probably take a while. Crown, touch up, and feetsies. And finish the cutie marks with the white. Okay. But after that, we should have a completed model. And so, yeah, you can see how long this process has taken. I'm happy with where it is, though. I dread doing the eyes, especially. Eyes are really, really, really hard. The cutie mark shouldn't be too bad. Shoes, not too bad at all. Crown, easy. Touch up might be a bit hard. And I'll debate putting stars in the nebula, like little dots. But after that, it should be done. And that's a lot of smaller things. Getting the whole body painted is quite hard. But yeah, I think we'll call it there for tonight. What do you guys say?
Okay.
Is Alex muted? One of these days I'll get. Hallie, if you're watching, turn off the stream. I'm gonna go look at the print. It's not doing so hot. The rest of it's doing okay. Really stringy. This is just all over. At this point, that's barely gonna help. All right. I'll end the visual. Oh wait, we might go look at the kitten. All right. But to do the kitten, we won't have any audio. I mean, on my end. We should end the stream, technically, or we'll do our little outro. But if you stick around, we'll walk upstairs. So yeah, why don't you close this out?
So, yeah. So that's two Christmas movies down, one more to go, and then we close December with the last of a trilogy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we hope to see you next week with the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Take care.
Later.